So hello and waiting a bit for the stream to start. And today we are going to talk about what's new in the recently announced GPT-4 Turbo model. So which has this naming of the GPT-4 1106 and what is happening in this new announcement. So in the previous podcast I have completely messed up with the sound quality, so that's why it could be a kind of duplicate, but still we need the sound anyways. So this announcement was just yesterday, and it contains some good news. So the first one is the new GPT-4 Turbo model, which is a lot faster and more capable than the previous one, and for now it's still in the probably development stage, but it is completely suitable for the usage and of course for the testing. Next, it also contains some news regarding such a new API as an assistance or the text-to-speech and so on. So, but the main topic today will be this new model, so which has the great context and it has the great pricing option, which we will see a bit later. Next, what is new? So, also there is a new response format, which is especially for the JSON workloads, but I have tried to test it and it does not work in all the cases. So probably it would be implemented completely in some kind of future. And of course we have this updated GPT-3.5 Turbo, which has this same version code, and this model could be great for some workloads. And of course there is some new stuff here, so but let's focus on the main one. So if you look at the client part of the ChatGPT for the GPT 3.5, we see the usual date of the January 2022, and for the new model we will see the April of this year, so that's completely great. And you can search for some events like iPhone 14 release or some conferences happened in 2023, even without using something like Bing search and so on. But the one more case is in pricing. So if we compare the pricing of the regular GPT-4 and this updated GPT-4 preview, we will see the significant decrease in this price. So from the 3 cents per of input and 6 for output for the 1K tokens, here we see just the 1 cent for the 1K tokens of the input and 3 cents for the output. So that's completely great. But what else is new in terms of the model? When it comes to these new models, so this one has the new name of the GPT-4 1106 preview, and as it's mentioned, this is not completely suitable for the production now, but I don't think so, so we will try it. And it has the largest context of all the models. So because the previous one had just 8K tokens, and this one has the 128K limit. And of course the training data is the updated one as for this one, and it's not the September 2021. So because even for the client part of the GPT 3.5 we have the January of the 2022, and here we have the most outdated timing here. So, and this one is completely up to date. If you look at the GPT 3.5, so all these models have the same date, but the new model has the biggest context in terms of this one or maybe this one. So of course the context is still the 16K, so it's not the 128K, but these legacy models could be suitable for some workload purposes. And if we look at the API reference, so it's the generic one, and here we have this type parameter, but as I have mentioned, it does not work in all the cases. But let's proceed to the testing. So we have just the same application which I was originally developing within the hackathon, and here we are gonna test it against these four models. So, and we will test it just on the first function, or maybe the first prompt of this application, which is parsing the plain text candidate CV to the application data model, which is the JSON one. Of course, we should include this last part of the prompt. So return only JSON, because sometimes GPT-4 and even the GPT-3.5 could return not the JSON but some strange amount of data. So that's why we should make this prompt just exact. And let's start our testing just from the GPT-3.5, the regular version. So let's run the app, and we will test it on the CV. So we have the translation to the English. So because let's try to use non-English CV in order to determine its translating capabilities. So let's start with this one, and here we go, and we have these timings here. So we will write the values of the timings for each model here just to compare the results. So, and probably this translation task could take potentially more time than it would be just the English version of the CV. But we are not searching for the easy ways, so that's why we will try on this data. Yeah, and so let's wait for it. So it's still parsing. Probably it's got a bit stuck with the translating, but let's give it a try. So still waiting. Very interesting. So maybe the ChatGPT got stuck with the translation. Very interesting case. Yeah, so something is very strange with this translation. Okay, so let's retry the other model because it's not, yeah, something very strange. Okay, so we will stop this test and let's specify, yeah. Let's try the other model. So let's go with the GPT-4 preview and let's try the same scenario. So maybe it will be better. Yes, and here we have just the 8 seconds, and let's, yeah, so it's very strange that it has not done the translation and it took the 8 seconds to parse. Okay, so but it's very strange that I have mentioned that the ChatGPT should translate the CV, and as far as we can see, the data is not being translated to the English. So quite interesting. Okay, so let's. So I do not know what here is exactly. So here we have the 8 seconds. Okay. Next, let's try the GPT-4. So GPT-4 is just the regular GPT-4 model. So let's try its translation capabilities, and I'm hoping that it should be much better. So let's do just the same. Yeah, it has completed. Have not looked up, and let's look. Yeah, so unfortunately it does not translate it very well, so it's very strange. And what is the timing? Timing is the 76 seconds, so it's pretty big timing. So, and the question is, yeah, with the translation is very interesting. So because it's not, for now, it's not translating as it needed the data to the English. So, okay, and let's try the new GPT-4 preview, which, yeah, has this exact version, and let's estimate the time for this new model. So probably the timing should be better in this model. So instead of the regular GPT-4. So, and let's look at the translation of this model, and what do we see? Yes, so So what do we see here? So let's just copy this stuff and let's paste just to. Yes, so the main difference here is that it's for some reason wraps the JSON into this JSON and this and these three brackets. So it's very interesting. So it's just the not a bug but a feature of this preview model. So, and that's why we should include the additional parsing step in the flow which has this model. Next, as in terms of the translation, so we see that some stuff has been translated. So this one, for example, we see this, we see this, and we see this. Yes, this stuff. So it's not completely, to be honest, so the translation is not complete, but it's much better than it was in the previous models. So it's how to say exactly, it's partially translated, so that's a good result. And here we have just all the information needed. So, and let's look at the timing, and the timing is just the 12 seconds. So, if we compare these timings, so the regular 3.5 model has completely messed with this task, so we do not have even the timing. The preview model of 3.5 has got the 8 seconds timing, but with no translation and with poor data quality. The regular force model has got 76 seconds, so which is huge amount of time, and for its cost, it's it's quite expensive per second. And the new model has got just the 12 seconds with the pretty good quality of this data, so that's why this is a great choice for now. And in terms of the additional step which I have mentioned, so here we have this kind of regex. So of course it's the condition of using of this regex could be altered a bit, but here we have the condition just of this model. So if we have the new model which is obviously making the JSON with that strange format, so we are just using the regex to omit this kind of stuff and to receive the valid JSON for the deserialization. So we see here the message is the valid JSON for now. So that's why if we try to deserialize, so it has successfully deserialized into this model. So of course we probably not all data, yes, so not all data has deserialized completely, but still we have this data in the model. So in the conclusion of the comparison of these models, so we have the regular GPT-4 for this pricing and with the pretty large timing of the execution, so that, and it does not look great in comparison of with this new model. So it looks much better, and it executes faster and costs less money. So that's why it's a great value for its price for now. And of course we are waiting for the future changes in these models and for the new functionality. So that's why let's keep testing it and try all the variants which are suitable for these models. So probably that's it for today. In the next podcast, we will continue with some other tests, and maybe we'll alter these prompts a bit to have the maximum results of this new stuff. But in general, this is a huge update to the model, which is completely great and usable, at least for the testing scenarios. And probably it could be used in the nearest time for the production cases. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any ideas or comments, you are free to message me. I will be really glad for the productive discussion, and see you in the next